The Lakers are the oldest team in the NBA, with most of the roster being over 30 and a significant amount of them being over 35. And they are receiving a lot of criticism for it. They are being discounted by the fans and the media. But more surprisingly, they are being discounted by rival executives and former coaches. And this is an example of an issue we're seeing in the NBA. Ageism. And this isn't an issue unique to the NBA. It's an issue all over the world, especially in the workplace, which is why there are laws in place to prevent discrimination based on a person's age. However, it is still something that is practiced and is an ongoing issue. And it's not like there's no reasoning behind ageism. There is strong evidence, especially in sports, that performance declines as age increases, especially when a player is past a certain age, like 30 for example in the NBA. Many years of data and many examples of players have shown us that older players are likely to be less valuable and less productive. And I have to admit, I'm guilty of this too. When I see a player over 30, I tend to be reluctant to sign the guy. It's either sign him to a short deal, we don't know if his game will decline, or sign him for the minimum, or don't sign him at all. And it's not an easy problem to fix, because ultimately, people get jobs based on performance and production. And we can only judge that person with the most recent data. When it comes to sports, that's the previous season's stats. But it gets complicated because when contracts are formed, we have to predict that person's productivity in the future and pay them based on that educated guess. And especially in basketball, when they are being paid millions of dollars, mostly in guaranteed money, that can be a big risk. Because with older players, not only does performance decline, but so does health, and so does availability. The likelihood of injury increases, and more often than not, you end up paying for a guy to sit on the bench. But at the same time, there are advantages that come with age. More experience, more wisdom, more leadership ability. There's a reason these old guys are still in the league. There's a reason they're still able to find jobs in the NBA. There are dudes out there that are out of the league by the time they turn 23 years old. Like Rajon Rondo said, you don't have longevity in this league without discipline. These guys are taking care of their bodies, eating the right foods, putting in the work so that they can be productive. Now, they might not be as good as they once were, but they still provide value to the team. I don't think we give enough credit to modern medicine, especially in sports. Perhaps 20, 30 years ago, it was a safe bet that your average 35-year-old wasn't going to be a good player. But now, thanks to new technology and a better understanding of the human body and a better understanding of nutrition, we're seeing players being able to perform at a higher level for a longer period of time. We're seeing guys like LeBron James and Tom Brady still be able to perform at an extremely high level. And I think that's going to become more common. A lot of times, we resort to discrimination because it's easier. It's easier to make a decision, to make a judgment based on a single trait or a single stat. But oftentimes, it's not accurate. We need to look at the whole picture before judging a person. And when money is involved, it becomes more complicated. But if we're only looking at one number to make our judgment, not only are we doing that player a disservice, we're doing ourselves a disservice and potentially missing out on a very valuable player.